Once upon a time, in a peaceful little village surrounded by rolling green hills, there lived a curious young boy named Tim. He loved exploring nature, climbing tall trees, running through open fields, and chasing colorful butterflies. Every day was a new adventure, and Tim was always eager to discover something exciting. One bright and sunny morning, Tim's grandfather called him to sit beside him under the old oak tree in their garden. Tim hurried over with excitement, wondering what special story his grandfather had prepared for him. "My dear Tim," his grandfather said with a warm smile, "today I want to tell you a story about the greatest treasure anyone can ever possess." Tim listened carefully as his grandfather began. Many years ago, there was a powerful kingdom ruled by a wise and kind king. The people respected him because he was fair, honest, and always cared for his subjects. Under his leadership, the kingdom flourished, and peace filled the land. One day, the king announced a grand competition. He wanted to choose the wisest person in the kingdom to become his royal advisor. The king declared, "Whoever brings me the most valuable thing in the world will earn the honor of serving beside me." News of the contest spread across the kingdom. Rich merchants, skilled craftsmen, nobles and travelers arrived at the royal palace carrying priceless treasures. They brought sparkling diamonds, shining gold, rare paintings, ancient artifacts, and magnificent animals from distant lands. Among all the contestants was a poor farmer named Jacob. He owned no riches, no precious gems, and no expensive gifts. Yet he believed he possessed something far more valuable than wealth. When the day of the competition arrived, the palace courtyard was filled with people proudly displaying their treasures. The king examined each gift with great interest, but nothing truly impressed him. Finally, Jacob stepped forward. Instead of a chest filled with gold, he carried only a small wooden box. The crowd whispered and laughed, wondering how such an ordinary farmer could compete with the wealthy nobles. The king looked at Jacob with curiosity. "What have you brought for me, farmer?" he asked. Jacob gently opened the wooden box. Inside was nothing except a handful of sand. The crowd burst into laughter. The king smiled and asked, "Do you really believe a handful of sand is the most valuable thing in the world?" Jacob respectfully bowed before the king. "Yes, your majesty," he replied confidently. "This sand represents time." The king leaned forward, eager to hear more. Jacob continued, "Just as sand slips through our fingers and can never be gathered exactly the same way again, time also passes forever. No amount of wealth can buy back a single lost moment. Gold can be earned again. Jewels can be replaced. Kingdoms can be rebuilt. But once time is gone, it is gone forever." The courtyard became completely silent. The king realized the truth in Jacob's words. Of all the treasures presented that day, none was greater than time itself. With admiration, the king stood and announced, "Today, the wisest man in my kingdom is not the richest, but the one who understands the true value of life." Jacob was declared the winner and was appointed as the king's trusted advisor. From that day onward, he faithfully guided the king with wisdom, honesty, and humility, always reminding him that every decision should respect the value of time. Tim listened to the story with wide eyes. His grandfather smiled and said, "Remember, Tim, time is life's greatest gift. Spend it wisely, cherish every moment, and never waste the opportunities that come your way." Tim nodded with understanding. From that day forward, he promised himself that he would value every minute, work hard, learn something new each day, and never take time for granted. As the years passed, Tim grew into a wise and respected man. Everyone admired him, not because of his wealth, but because he understood the priceless value of time. And that is why people say, the greatest treasure in the world is not gold, diamonds, or power. It is time, because once it is gone, it can never be returned. Moral of the story: time is the most precious gift we have. Use it wisely, appreciate every moment, and make each day meaningful, because every second truly matters. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to English Gateway for more inspiring stories and life-changing lessons.